I could just go be a UPS man or a FedEx man. I'm sure they have openings right now on Indeed.com. I could go apply for a job there. And sure, I might not get attacked by demons, but I mean, shit, man, if I'm the UPS man and they tell me I gotta go deliver a package in the ghetto, then ain't that the same shit?
Oh yeah, brother.
Before I say anything, to those of you who are not even going to watch this video and you're going to click on it, you're going to see the title, you're going to look at the thumbnail, and you're just going to dislike the video, do your thing. Go ahead and dislike the video and leave, because you weren't going to watch it anyway. You're just trying to attack people for giving their opinions. So do you. Have your fun on the internet. But to those of you who are actually here to have a real conversation, this time I'm coming to you with no malintent, no anger, no, I guess immaturity. I'm just going to share my opinions on Death Stranding. Firstly, I have to say that I watched the entire gameplay session. I watched all 50 minutes of it. As soon as I woke up, I haven't even made my bed yet. As soon as I woke up, I saw that it was live, and I watched all of it from beginning to end. And let me start off with the positives before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Number one, the game is probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I'm not even gonna lie. The game is gorgeous. Like, yes, the big open areas are relatively bleak, but I mean, that's the point. That's the point. It's bleak because it's like, it's almost like Shadow of the Colossus in a way, which I'm going to really go further with that analogy as we continue through this video. But it's gorgeous. The facial animations are some of the best facial animations that I've seen. In some shots under different lighting, it was almost hard to even distinguish whether or not I was even looking at a video game at times. It's absolutely gorgeous. The acting itself it's good, but it actually threw me for a little bit of a loop, because when the black guy started talking, I was just kind of like, whoa, because his line delivery was very Metal Gear Solid-esque. It was very Metal Gear Solid-esque. So it was exaggerated in a way that I wasn't anticipating from a game with this kind of tone, but it was appreciated nonetheless because I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, hence the name, the Solid Moose. The music, that one song that plays when he's walking, I am not gonna play it here because I don't feel like getting copyrighted. The one, I don't know how to sing it because I'm a terrible singer, and I'm not gonna do that to you because then I get even more dislikes on these videos than I'm already gonna get. But needless to say, the music in this game is really, really good. It's really good. And also, I'm going to just put this out there. I really appreciate the fact that Kojima has gone to such lengths to make the walking as immersive and as active as possible. He has tried to make walking like the most in-depth game ever. Like, he's really gone crazy with the game mechanics on just going from point A to point B. So I commend him for that. Now let's get into the actual part of the video that you all came here to see. I'm not a fan, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm interested in the story. The story looks awesome. The story looks interesting. The cutscenes, they all look interesting. I'm really hoping that Kojima goes crazy with the cutscenes again, because honestly, I was one of the few people that wasn't complaining about the super long cutscenes. That was just me. I was actually really disappointed within Metal Gear Solid 5 when the cutscenes were so diminished. I was really disappointed because I was incredibly interested in that story. more so than a lot of the Metal Gear games. But I'm super interested in this plot because it just seems like the most unique shit I'd ever seen in my entire life. So odds are I'm probably not even gonna buy the game when it first comes out. I'm just gonna watch like story videos and stuff like that and people analyzing it, like Young Yeah. I'll probably end up just watching a lot of Young Yeah videos. Shout out to Young Yeah, because I've been watching him for so many years. But the gameplay just, it doesn't look that fun to me at all. And it's not just because they weren't showing a whole bunch of fighting in action. When they did show the fighting in action, it looked clunky. It didn't look like fun to experience. And I guess that could be the point, because Sam isn't a fighter. I don't know if that's the point that Kojima's trying to make. If that is, then hey, okay, cool for you, but that doesn't change the fact that I don't like it. Just like, necessarily like in horror games, the main fighter, the main character might not be a super action hero, but that doesn't excuse the gameplay being shite. Because in Silent Hill, the gameplay isn't good in Silent Hill. I'm just gonna put that out there. But yet Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. So like, that's the thing. Like, it's difficult. It's difficult to put a gauge on this game, because although the gameplay, in my opinion, looks awful, it could very well end up being one of my favorite games purely for the story and the presentation. I don't know. I'm gonna make sure that the story is worth my time overall before I go out and purchase the game. But if the story if it lives up to what I think it's going to be, then yeah, I'll go out and buy the game, because I want to support that. I'd like to support that. I vote with my wallet. I'm interested in that kind of storytelling. But like, though, just walking, man, just you just walking. That's just not fun to me. And like, like I said, I'm going to compare this to Shadow of the Colossus. I did this in the comment section of one of my previous video on Death Stranding, which was a lot more anger filled. But in Shadow of the Colossus, there was a lot of riding your horse and walking, right? And in Death Stranding, it looks like there's a lot of walking and maybe riding your motorcycle or using that hoverboard thing, whatever. That's cool. The difference is, in Shadow of the Colossus, you know that point A, the temple, to point B, the Colossus, in between is going to be boring, but when you get to point B, it's going to be so bombastic that it makes the journey worth it. It makes the journey worth it. So that, like, all the while you're so looking forward to getting to point B, that while you're going through the journey, you're finding positives along the way. You're like, oh hey, let me shoot these fruit. Oh hey, let me shoot this lizard and eat it, or grab its tail, or whatever the fuck you do with it. I don't know, shove it up your ass. You're looking forward to it. You are excited. You are waiting with bated breath. You have so much anticipation of what you're going to see next. And in Death Stranding, so far, because it might be completely different when the full game comes out, so far, when you get from point A to point B, all you get is like, hey, you did it. You reached the checkpoint. Now you have some more strands available. Like, that's not fulfilling. It makes it feel like the journey was a waste of time, because it feels like you're just doing busy work. You're just the UPS man in the future. That's really all you are. And that's just not that interesting, fun, or exciting in any way, shape, or form, in my humble opinion. Like, I play video games to escape reality. Like, if I wanted to deliver packages, I could just go be a UPS man or FedEx man. I'm sure they have openings right now on Indeed.com. I could go apply for a job there. And sure, I might not get attacked by demons, but I mean, shit, man, if I'm the UPS man and they tell me I gotta go deliver a package in the ghetto, then ain't that the same shit? Like, ain't that just the same shit? I'm getting attacked by black demons in the game and I'm getting attacked by black demons in the ghetto. Same shit. It's just not for me. And it might not be for you either. You know, people who are watching this, who are afraid to voice their opinions on this game, because I know there's quite a few people like that apparently. I figured that out after I made my last video. There were a lot of people that were super against me and there were a lot of people that were super with me, but I went about it the wrong way. I went about it in a very childish manner. My opinions haven't changed since the last video. In fact, they have been like even further validated. Like they're even like they've crystallized that this game just looks like the most boring shit ever. But I'm gonna go about this differently. But yeah, it's just not. It looks like boring. And even the boss fight, they showed off the boss fight. I was watching him fighting that giant gobbledygook fucking lion horse thing with the booty hole for a face, and like once again the scenery, it was amazing. It looked so cool, and like him jumping from building to building, like it's like, oh, that looks so cool. But the actual boss fight itself, it looked almost like a Peace Walker boss fight from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, and those boss fights, in my opinion, were awful. It just felt like you were just fighting a bunch of bullet sponges, because you were, and you were just throwing grenades at it, which he was in the Death Stranding gameplay. He was just throwing grenades like, and it just, and there was a lot of slow-mo for some odd reason. I don't know what was up with that, but whatever. But it felt like you were just fighting this giant bullet sponge just to like buy time, I guess, like to pad out time. And then you had to call in support from some naked white dude, ghost phantom man. I guess that was supposed to be another player, which that's interesting. They're trying to do this Dark Souls thing of having multiple players online and voting and doing all kinds of stuff. That's cool, that's interesting. But that just reminded me so much of the Peace Walker, like having to call up the mother base and send you some more grenades because you ran out in the middle of the boss fight. Like that just, that was never fun then, and it doesn't look fun now. And on top of it not being fun now with this boss fight, when you're out of the boss fight, you're just walking and having to deal with this baby and make sure that it's okay, and singing lullabies and taking baths with it. Like I said in the last video, if I wanted to be a dad, I would just go nut on some bitches. Like, in some of the trailers, they've shown off interesting stuff, like when Mads Mikkelsen showed up and he was like, oh God, I got my spooky, scary skeletons and all that. And going through the battlefield that almost looked like a World War II battlefield, and being on the beach and all that stuff. Like, once again, the scenery, it looks so awesome, but it just feels like a shit ton of like flash and no substance other than the story, which I'm hoping that the story is good, because if the story is shite, then Jesus. Ugh. I just know that I'm gonna wait on this one. This is the first Kojima game in many a year that I've waited on, because once I got into Metal Gear, I was in like balls deep. But I'm gonna have to wait on this one. You know, I'm not gonna go out and buy this day one unless somebody gifts it to me. If somebody sends me like a PlayStation card and say, hey, go play Death Stranding and get your thoughts on it, you know, hey, I'll do that. But if I have to go out and buy it, it ain't happening on day one. I'm gonna wait until that shit, I know the story is good, or if it's somewhat mediocre, I might get it on sale or when it's free on PlayStation Plus or something like that. But that's really my thoughts on Death Stranding right now, unfortunately. A lot of positive on the display portion of it. Beautiful game, beautiful sound design, beautiful music, beautiful acting, all of that. The story's super interesting, but the part that makes it a video game, the gameplay, doesn't look enticing, which is what holds it all together. Otherwise, I'm like, why don't you just make a movie? Just make a movie. But anyway, leave a comment. What do you guys think of this new gameplay? I almost said trailer. I guess it's not really. It's kind of a gameplay trailer. But let me know what you guys think of how it all looks, the 50-minute gameplay videos. I would absolutely love to know what you guys have to say. Keep it respectful in the comments. There's no need to attack other people for just voicing their opinions. Really, my opinion hasn't changed. So it is what it is. I'd like to know what you guys think. Feel free to disagree with me 10 times over. I'm interested to know what you guys have to say. So on that note, thank you all for watching. Subscribe for my comedy videos. Dead Space is going to be coming out soon. And yeah, peace out, my moosies.
I'm a moosey, you're a moosey, we are all a moosey. Wouldn't you like to be a moosey too?
Yeah.